How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday, where we had a break, which sucked because I wanted to talk about stuff. So, I posted it in the Discord, and I kind of didn't read a whole lot of comments last week because I think I figured something out after I uploaded the video. So, we got to meet Shogun Yui, right? But I even noted a few things that seemed a little off to me. I remember saying in the last episode that when her text came up, normally colors for what people like the colors that people that they use for people when they speak tended to be really consistent throughout the games. And for some reason, it bothered me that her text didn't seem to line up with the text that I remembered from the Altered Fable expansion, where we got to really go through the whole relationship with Yui. And then, like, I was just kind of going through the motions, really caught up in the moment. And then it hit me. Well, a couple things hit me. So, the assistant she had, Tsukiyomi, she wore glasses, but she didn't look quite right either, right? So I had the realization of something. My running theory is I don't think that's Yui. I don't think that's Yui at all. Now again, I didn't look at comments or anything because I didn't want anyone to spoil things for me on accident. But I don't think it was Yui. I think that a lot of people were traveling across the ocean, right? When they were evacuating for Babylon. The disaster occurred, a lot of people died. A lot of people were also in transit, which is part of why they died. What if Yui, the Shogun, died? What if she's gone? What if she was just taken out by the unprecedented events? Things were in a disastrous state, right? The last thing they'd want to do is to reveal that the Shogun had been killed. That'd just assassinate the morale, right? What was Meia's role in this universe? As the twin, she was hidden away because if there ever came a time she could stand in for Yui. We saw it in Alternative when she was going over to confront the rebels. We saw it in Muv-Luv Core, kind of, because in that timeline Yui had passed away when they were young, and Meia kind of got brought back into the line to kind of fill the shoes. So what if in this world line that happened anyway? What if in this path on Unlimited, Yui did pass away during the escape from Japan, and Meia, being in the military, was in a place where she had maybe she was just better placed. We don't know exactly what she was up to. What if she got called in to be the Shogun? That would explain a lot. Text not matching, Tsukiyomi not quite looking like the Tsukiyomi with the glasses that we saw with Meia last time. Plus, I don't think her name was even Tsukiyomi. I can't remember, but I think she went by a different name. And I'm pretty sure she's called her Tsukiyomi in this, so I think that was Meia. Which I like afterwards, like I remember I'd uploaded the video and I was making the thumbnail and I was like looking at it and I was like, her hair, like I was thinking about the game and like what I just covered, and I was like making the Photoshop of the thumbnail and the picture, and I was like, why does her hair not look quite right? Because that was the one thing that made them different, was not just the style of their hair, but also the shade. They made it a slightly different color. And I was like, that doesn't look quite right. And it kind of just all hit me at once. Like all these little tiny things that I had noticed and things that I had kind of brushed aside kind of all suddenly came together, and I was like, hang on a second, that would make a lot of sense. And so I'm really tickled pink by that whole idea. And I'm kind of sad I had stuff come up last Monday that I couldn't just share that with you. But anyway, so sorry for this long intro. That's my theory. There's evidence there. I'm kind of glad I got to think about it, but I'm sad I didn't think about it in the episode because it won't seem nearly as organic now. But it's been driving me crazy, and I kind of, to document it, like shortly after I had my theory, I went onto the Discord and I posted it in our Muv-Luv Discord channel because I wanted it archived when I had the thought. Because I thought after like a week and it turned out 2 weeks of no video, I didn't think I thought it would sound suspicious, or maybe I would end up reading something that might confirm or prove me wrong. So I wanted to post it somewhere. So if you're curious and you want to call shenanigans on me for whatever reason, check the Discord. It's time-stamped and everything. It's right there. Anyway, so yeah, we met her. We met Yui, which was really fun. And we also got some tidbits that are showing saboteurs are involved. Canada, France, looks like they're getting in here. I was really worried that the little boy from the orphanage was getting caught up in things, but it looks like he's just an unassuming witness to something. He has some key information, likely doesn't know what he should do with it, especially because it's adults. Like, what is he going to do? Report adults that are acting suspiciously? Who would even believe him? But I think we're getting to close to the finale, and I think it's going to get really intense. So I don't know how intense it's going to get and when it's going to kick off, but I think it's getting to prime time, so let's buckle up and get ready for it. Whew. Okay, let's go. My shoulders are killing me. Never thought I'd get a one-on-one audience with Her Highness. What a freaking babe, though. Yes, Maya or Yui, absolutely agree. The camera doesn't do her justice. Yeah. Oh, man. Did I make a butt out of myself or what? Me too, man. I really need to stop overthinking things. Major Jinguji was a VIP. It stands to reason that Her Highness would know her name. That was the other thing. That was the other tip. The other tip in there was the fact that she knew Jinguji personally. I don't think Yui would have. It's suspect. Yeah. Oh gosh. How did I not see this? And given the Major's formal standing, it's obvious she'd be keeping tabs on her. Natural selection must have skipped a generation with me. I'm sure you just reminded her of someone. Lieutenant Tatsunami Hibiki, the man who managed to personally piss off the Shogun. Ain't that swell? Oh, come on. There's no way Her Highness would do something so petty. Yeah, she's noble and dignified. The refinement she exuded is on a different level. It's infectious. As soon as you get close to her, bam, you're breaking out in the good china. Yuzuka might come from money, but her vibe, or the vibe Her Highness gives off is totally different. It's like comparing the sun to the moon. Huh?
Hibiki!
Oh, great. Wait, what?
なんだどうした何があった
スクランブルよ。近くまで車を回してるわ。急いで
Why did he not have his device? What are you doing, Hibiki? Why? What?
なんだとゆずかとミオノは
二人は先に行かせた。それと、耳貸しなさい。
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm worrying about you anyway. What?
生産プラントが何者かに占拠されたらしいわ。
We lost it already? Fetch, that must have been a good coup. Holy crap.
全員揃ったようだな。ではブリーフィングを開始する。
Is the Shogun still there?
夜分遅くに英氏諸君に集合してもらったのには理由がある。現在より約60分前、2220にプラント警備隊から襲撃を受けているとの報告があった。
Freaking red high alert. They've been in there for 60 minutes. Like, if capturing the plant is sure, but there's no way they know they can't hold it. They're gonna try and destroy it.
そんな。2245以降、現在に至るまでプラント守備隊からの通信は断絶している。
Like, their mission's gonna be successful at this rate. Like, I don't see how they could have an hour with all this prep time, why they wouldn't have already rigged the whole plant to explode. I mean, unless I'm like wrong and the plant can somehow move, but I get the feeling it's stationary. It's not going to go anywhere. And so like, they're going to destroy it. Like, you'd be foolish not to.
断絶制圧されたってわけか。
一体どうやって侵入したって言うんだ。
死後は慎め。ブリーフィングを続ける。夜間作業をしていた数人の労働者が脱出に成功している。彼らから聴取した情報によれば、テロリストないしこれに準ずる者によって襲撃を受けたのは間違いないと思われる。
Terrorist attacks are small in scale, but the scope is meant to cause as much damage and fear as possible. Small in scale meaning small teams, so likely we're not dealing with too many operatives. They simply were well planned, well coordinated, and well armed, and were able to eliminate or subdue the majority of the station's defenses quickly and somehow quietly. And then they have a goal of some kind. Like, it's like they're not going to be able to anticipate, they're not going to anticipate holding ground.
どういう意味ですか？犯行声明でもあったんですか？
I mean, it can only be one group.
ゴムボートに乗った複数の人間が生産プラントに侵入していくのを目撃したという証言がある。
それってフランスかカナダが実力行使をしてきたってこと？いや、アメリカの可能性だってあるわよね。
I doubt that though.
それを言ったら我が国の人間の可能性だってあるんだ。うかつなことは言うな。
What's their objective? The Imperial production plant is the most technologically advanced facility of its kind in existence. Could it be the terrorists are trying to steal our data in the core module? Now that is true. Espionage of like figuring out how to work it would be pretty good. That might be why the plant's still standing right now. Also, I like how we have a map of the Japan on the wall. Super unuseful, but a good reminder of where they came from. No, without borrowing the plant's equipment, all that data would be useless to them. No, they must have something else in mind. Alright, enough of that. No point trying to figure this out now. Focus on the briefing.
またシアトル湾内で係留されていた潜水母艦栄光用タンカーが襲撃を受けたことが判明している。
Interesting. The submarine carrier... Wait, the submarine carrier transport tanker moored in Seattle Bay was attacked earlier today. Submarine carrier transport tanker. What is that? Like, I'm from its name, it sounds like it's something that carries a submarine, but I kind of figured they could do their own business.
係留してたやつってあれまだ所属が決まってなくて放置されてたんだっけ？
その通りだ。潜水母艦栄光用タンカーは実際には洋上ドックとでも言うべきものだが、
Oh gosh.
そこに接舷されていた4隻の潜水母艦が行方不明になっている。
Great, so just to clarify, that's perfect. Oh, obviously, it's a floating carrier, a floating dock, so it can carry fuel. And oh my gosh, so they took 4 submarines, likely a large amount of very like incredibly necessary resources like fuel. Oh my gosh, how did they do that without getting noticed?
おそらく生産プラント襲撃グループと同一組織の犯行と思われる。
ってことは潜水母艦の艦首にくっついてるイントルーダーも持ってかれたってことですよね。つまり敵さんは最低でも4機のイントルーダーを装備している。
You know what? I'll say it. This is worse than the beta invasion we had last game. Because, you know, beta, it's like kill or be killed, right? These are people. It's terrifying not knowing what they're doing with this stuff. But that they have it is just, oh, jeez.
イントルーダーの制圧火力はシャレにならんな。
Yeah, no, this is... What should be more horrifying is how quietly they've been able to do this. That's what's really freaking me out. I feel like a majority of time, like military assets, especially when your military is so critical to just daily survival, you feel like people would instantly notice if something like the dock started to float away.
4機ではない。え？プラント警備のため配備されていた我が国の和田摘正体とも連絡がつかない。おそらく敵の手によって強奪されていると考える方が正しいだろう。
Wait, they had a squad. They were deployed like actively in their TSFs and they've gone dark? How did they do this? Wait a minute. They had an EMP, they might be able to do this. an EMP device, even like a short range one, would be able to shut down TSFs and could block communications. That could do it, but the problem with a EMP is you'd fry the devices, making them practically useless. But that could be the case, because that could explain why they infiltrated on rafts. I mean, rafts are pretty quiet, all things considered, but still, like, you think if they had these things, they would have just used those.
合計して8機の A6。
8機だと。
冗談にもなってないわよ。
Yeah, that's no joke.
内部の状況はどこまで判明しているのですか？
先ほど説明した以上のことは判明していない。
Fetch.
無人偵察機を使用したが蛍光火器によって撃墜された。外部から内部の様子を伺う術は現在のところ見つかっていない。
The packing heat too. Things look bleak. We should start preparing for worst case scenario.
作戦の概要を説明する。我々戦術機部隊は陸戦部隊の補佐を務めることになっている。
Oh man.
作戦の主役は突入任務を務める陸戦隊ということになるが、それ以外にも攻撃ヘリが2個中隊、1個砲兵大隊も参加することになっている。
So we're the escort.
突入部隊の侵入経路は3つだ。輸送ヘリによる侵入、連絡通路を使用した陸路での侵入、そして海中からの侵入となる。
I mean, the sea sounds like the safest option, because they feel like it's too easy to. They've proven they have the airways covered at least, so like that's gonna be very dangerous. The skyway's obviously gonna be like set. If it's not destroyed, it's going. I would be shocked if it didn't have explosives just waiting for as soon as they think they see trouble.
陸戦部隊主力の突入経路は空路になる。そして海、連絡橋の順になる。
Makes sense to me. The Skyway is an open-air bridge connecting Seattle to the plant. Our forces would be target practice for any snipers. Not only is there no cover, but booby-trapping the thing would be a piece of cake. Okay. Crap, they could even collapse the bridge with our forces halfway across it. At least I'm thinking along the right lines.
海中から侵入する部隊が主力でないのはなぜですか？こういったケースの通常の作戦では最も隠密性の高い部隊こそ主力足り得ると思うのですが。
Speed's of the essence. Heck, this conversation is actually dragging on too long.
通常であればな、海中から潜入するには特殊な訓練を受けている必要があるが、残念ながらその人数が圧倒的に足りない。
That's true too. She's saying we're low on special forces. And the Americans have also been cutting down the number of SEALs they train.
海上部隊は生産プラントの5キロ手前までゾディアックで接近する。そしてその場から特殊部隊隊員による水中潜入作戦を決行する。
Right. It's December. The ocean's freezing. If they screw this up, their hearts are gonna stop.
海中にはわだつみが警戒に当たっていると思われるが、人間サイズであれば察知される可能性は低い。
Boy, that sounds like super fun.
水中潜入部隊は水中スクーターを使用して生産プラントに接近。到着までおよそ60分かかると見込まれている。
You know what I would do if I were this? If I were the one trying to take this base, I would know that swimmers and like I would use the A6s. They should be able to they'd probably be able to detect rafts and boats and stuff. So like use those to defend those. But then to try and keep like swimmers out, I just bring fishing nets and just kind of put them all around. You know? You might not be able to see the humans, but catch them in a net. Like, I mean, they might be like if they're smart, they'd bring a knife with them or something. But like, I don't know. Fishing nets would be a pretty good way to at least slow them down.
帝国の潜水艦は動かないんですか？
Too shallow for submarines.
あれば使う。だが現時点で作戦投入可能な艦艇はない。なお、帝国海軍の主力は概要にて訓練を兼ねて哨戒センサーを敷設中だ。シアトルに戻るまで1両日以上の時間が必要だ。
That's really bad. So no help from the Navy. Fantastic. How awfully curious. The situation at the border with Canada on the west coast is relatively stable. Nothing like this is ever happening. Nothing like the crap that's happening on the east coast. And yet the Imperial Navy swarmed with work out of the high seas. I'm starting to think America's doing that on purpose.
ついでだ。説明しておく。まずは陸路だが、こちらは橋桁の下部を侵入することになるが、 我々は連絡橋の通路には何らかのトラップが仕掛けられていると考えている。
Right.
そのため工兵隊を伴うことになるが、これにより速度を期待するのが難しい状況だ。
I mean, what sucks about this whole thing is like we had the advantage. We had the territory. It's part of its location is ideal because it's difficult to egress onto. We've already lost that battle, so now we're essentially having to do like it's the trouble with like forts and fortifications. It's like if you don't have them properly defended, they get taken from you and then they're used against you.
繰り返しになるが、陸戦部隊の主力はヘリを使用して生産プラントに直接乗り込むことになる。だが当然ながらこのままでは出撃できない。接近すれば和田摘みの砲撃を受ける可能性が大きいからな。
That's where the TSF's escort comes in.
ヘリでは砲撃を避けることができないか。
地下通路ってのはまだ使用できないんですか？
あれはまだ開通していない区画が3500メートル以上ある。
So that's not connected
今回
yet.
は論外だ。さて、そろそろ貴様たちにも理解できた頃だと思うが、簡単に言えば我々が和田摘みを攻略できるかどうかが作戦の要となってきている。
Someone's head's rolling for this because even if we manage to take all of this back, think about all the hardware we're setting ourselves back. Like every TSF we take out is one of ours. Every soldier we lose is another soldier that we've trained that just got lost because of a screw up on our end. Like this is really, really like horrifically bad.
和田摘みを落として陸戦部隊の突入を成功させれば俺たちの勝ちってことですね。
I wouldn't say guaranteed.
厳密に言えばそうではないが、非常に大きなウェイトを占めていると言っても差し支えないだろう。
Right.
イントルーダーが4機と警備用の和田摘みが4機。これが現在までに敵が確保しているだろうと思われる戦術機戦力だ。
At least. This is gonna be real rough for us.
これが生産プラントの小サイズになる。一辺が約2キロ。中央に生産プラントの制御機能を持つ管理タワー。そして外周部に生産モジュールが配置されている。
I'm guessing those circles are the anticipated defense platforms.
東南方向には港湾施設。そして連絡通路が接続されている。和田摘みの定位置はここになる。四角の頂点に固定砲台的に配置されている。
残りの4機はどこに配置されると予想していますか？
Depends on how many of them there are, but most likely they're gonna be in the control center.
私の予想ではこの4カ所だ。だが場合によっては状況にフレキシブルに対応するために友軍として海中に潜伏させている可能性も考えられる。
We won't know for sure until we try and approach.
A6 の戦闘力について確認しておく。シアトル湾内で強奪された A6 は国連仕様のもので、いわゆる通常の国際規格ものだ。
The one benefit we've got is that we do have like TSF battle TSF. Like the Americans have TSFs that are built to fight other TSFs. If they're following UN specifications, they should be spec'd for fighting beta. Still terrifying, but they are likely not going to have any radar scattering.
36mm チェーンガンが左右両手腕に4門ずつの合計8門。120mm 滑空砲が2門。近接専用スパイクマニピュレーターが2機。
Spike manipulators. I'm guessing it's like a wrist blade before a mech.
また第一世代機であり、その上耐圧核を使用しているため装甲は極めて頑強だ。遠
So,
距離から当てても損傷を与えるのは難しいだろう。
but it means it also should be pretty slow, sluggish to move because if it's built of such heavy metals and it's an older model TSF, like the whole thing about TSFs is they were going to faster and faster, like lighter materials, better boosters, more durable materials that are also light enough to be able to facilitate quick movements on the battlefield. These things are more like tanks.
なお先ほど告げたようにソードフィッシュ級も4隻が行方不明になっている。おそらくそちらも敵の支配下にあると思われる。警戒が必要だ。
If they have the manpower, they absolutely would be under control. If they had the means, I would have just taken them away and just like effectively like made sure that at the very least we take like naval power from the US, Japan, and get it to our own. But if they don't have that manpower, I could see them being used as booby traps, because if they're nuclear-run submarines, like I think they are, you could turn that into a bomb. It'd be tough, but you could do it. They aren't designed, nuclear reactors aren't designed to explode like a nuke. But you could, for instance, overload the coils, ram them into infrastructure, having them have a meltdown, and then you have this like slagging submarine that is melting itself, ruptures itself, it pops, and it spreads radioactive debris everywhere. It's essentially it's a dirty bomb. It would just poison the water. It would just be such a logistical nightmare. And where you're in a world where real estate is literally like almost non-existent, taking one of the few places that is relatively safe and poisoning it with radiation, that's a pretty devastating blow.
大尉、それって潜水母艦の VLS も使用される可能性があるということを示唆していますよね。
無論だ。ただし VLS に関して言えば、通常は対地打撃用のクラスター爆弾が搭載されていることから、空中を行く戦術機部隊に直接の脅威になるとは考えていない。
Oh, flight. These things fly? Fetch.
もっとも、低高度での侵入を行う場合には、その範疇から外れることにはなり、危険性を考慮しなければいけないことになる。
It's gonna be raining cluster bombs. We're gonna be rushing straight through impact zones. Man, I don't even want to imagine. This is gonna be a meat
生産プラン
grinder.
トに配備されていたわだつみだが、こちらは 36mm チェーンガンが増設され、片側6門の合計12門になっている。
Holy crap! Oh, jeez.
A6 の有効射程圏を4キロと想定しているが、配置が分かっている機体の火力制圧
It's
圏
gonna
を
be a
当てはめ
big
ると
field of red.
実際にも射程圏外でも直撃を受ければ相当の損傷を負うのは間違いない。また配置が判明していない機体もある。
Gosh darn it, why did we lose this? I can't believe they were so effective at just getting us out of there. Oh my gosh. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare.
戦場が海上になることは確定的だ。遮蔽物は一切ないと思ってくれ。
F me sideways. I'll take a laser class any day of a week over this. I freaking agree.
36mm の誤射でぶっ壊されたって話は聞いたことありますが、わだつみの砲撃に白縫いの装甲はどのくらい耐えられますかね。
あれの前に立てば戦術機の装甲など紙みたいなものだ。
Yep. Fetch. Oh my gosh. Oh. This is absolutely... How did this happen?
おい、冗談じゃねえぞ。
Thank you.
そんなところに突っ込めっていうのかよ。
It's like we're willingly sticking our heads into a hornet's nest.
イントルーダーは元来上陸作戦の先陣を務める機体だ。制圧能力と装甲には定評がある。またその役割上携行弾数も多い。
Right. That's the thing. So they took these TSFs, they're like, hey, these ones are for defense, not for actually mobility at all. They're already sluggish as it is. Let's just give them a lot of guns and a lot of ammunition. Perfect!
よって高難易度の任務であると理解してほしい。
Gosh.
はい、こいつは時間をかけて敵の精神が疲弊したところに襲撃した方がいいのでは。それこそ 1,2 ヶ月かけるくらいのつもりで。
Alright. Think about what you're saying for a second, sir. First of all, they're in a protein processing plant. I'm guessing they can also have potable water. If they have access to submarines, they could leave the bay and get refreshed underwater without us being able to do much of interfering. So they are sitting on water, they're sitting on food, they're sitting on a means to get out if they need to. They have all the weapons and defenses they could need. If we just siege them out, what are we gonna do? Just starve to death while we wait?
そうですよ。そんだけの時間があれば犯人も隙を見せるでしょう。
We're the ones under siege right now. It might look like we have them surrounded, but they've got a knife at our throats. Talk about thinking outside the box. We could also suppress deadly so we don't let them escape. If we disable their wired comms, literally cut the cables, they'll have no way of sending anything out while their electromagnetic storm's active. Nah, we can't do that. It would have caused significant damage to Seattle's infrastructure. And it ain't like we could starve them out anyway.
今回の作戦はできるだけ短期で終了させねばならない状況になっている。具体的には今より約8時間後、0800までにケリをつける予定だ。
Yep. Because, like I said, like they're going to be like whatever they're here for, they're gonna get, and like I think their ultimate goal is essentially kamikaze run, like take out the station.
無茶すぎるわよ。
はい。その理由は？
ここからは極秘情報になる。全員注意して聞いてくれ。
Holy.
形することも厳禁だ。
No, Japan, you didn't do something sneaky, did you? Ominous.
現在、生産プラント内に公務員有非殿下が滞在されている可能性がある。
Oh no. I was worried about that, but are you freaking serious?
冗談！なんでこんな時間に殿下が生産プラントに？
She was there doing meetings.
レセプションの後、体調を崩されて貴賓室で休息を取られていたという話だが、正直なところ滞在の理由はどうでもいい。敵がその存在を認識しているかどうかは不明だが、可及的速やかに殿下の身の安全を確保したい。
Did they plan that, or were they just the luckiest insurgents ever to go in and be like, yeah, we're taking this critical infrastructure. Oh, and look, the Shogun of Japan. How nice to see you. That explains the ground forces. This is a game changer. The masses have noticed things have started to improve since the Shogun relocated to Seattle. Put two and two together, and TCC, why she gets a great deal of the credit. Her Highness is the last moral reserve of our nation. If something happens to her and it turns out we can blame Canada or France, there will be war.
なお、当作戦においてアメリカ軍の協力は一切ない。
Why? What?
それはどういうことですか？
Have they not told the United States what's happening?
生産プラントはあくまでも帝国の施設だ。これを奪還するのにアメリカ軍の力は借りられない。
Is there status, or is it because there's stuff going on? Japan? Are you up to no good at the plan? You absolutely are. Politics are rearing its ugly head again, huh? See, I knew something was bothering me about this whole deal. Why would we have to put Shiranuis up against Wadasumis and intruders if we had access to stealth fighters? Makes no sense. Just send a couple raptors and be over in a jiffy.
はい。こういう時のためのラプターでしょ。同盟してるんでしょ、我々は。
松風注意。貴様は先ほどから子供のようによく騒いでいるな。
Fair, but let's keep going. He kind of has a point.
納得できないバカ者どものために説明してやろう。生産プラントは帝国の財産である。その技術的優位を保つために、帝国は独力での防衛を決断した。
See, I'm calling BS on this because we've been nothing but complaining about the United States not rising up to help protect our technological assets up till now. I think there's a lot more going on that plant than we want. Like, I don't think we want Americans getting too close to look at it. We don't want them, like, being flippant about target assessment when we know things that they don't. And I bet you there's stuff going on. I mean, Marimo can't be the only person who's practically minded who'll be able to sneak a nuke into her TSF. You know, like, there's gonna be something else at that plant to give us an edge.
我々兵隊はそれに従い、作戦通り行動すればよい。そこに個人の意志や理想を挟むべきではない。
Well, fetch. This is... Yay. Just yay.
そういう話だから、ダメだと分かってても従えってことですかね。
貴様。
はい。俺は作戦には従いますよ。ですが、明らかにこの命令は狂ってるでしょ。シアトルは203高地だとでも言うんですか？明らかにラプターでやった方が成功率は上がるだろう。敵はベータのような単純バカじゃないんだ。
松風。
Drop it, dude.
生産プラント建設時に帝国はアメリカからの共同防衛体制構築案を一蹴した。結果 アメリカは生産プラントの防衛に関与しないということで合意している。
I see the logic there, but it's got a major flaw. The Americans eat the food too. So what if it's ours? You tell them, hey, by the way, our entire like survivability base, the majority of the food we can provide for the next like years, completely under threat right now. Can you spare maybe just a few raptors? Just a few. You don't even have to do anything else. Just stealth bomb, safe. Take out their defenses real quick. I don't know. I'm 99% sure there's like other shady stuff going on the planet that Japan is willing to like sacrifice its soldiers, which it critically needs, to protect, even from the United States.
万に一つでも生産プラントの核となる技術が流出してはいけないと考えたのだろう。この世界において食料を生産できる能力を持つということは、それだけのアドバンテージになるのだ。
The core. Wait a second. The core. She says that part of growing the food is the core. They're effectively producing protein and other necessary nutrients out of almost nothing. They said it's from algae, right? But why is Japan so much better? What if part of it is its beta technology? What if it's another one of those twists? Like, what if it's not a hive per se, but a modified human-made core hive, and that's why the beta started being pulled to Seattle, and maybe that's what was on the JFK, and why the JFK got attacked by the rogue collection of beta, because we know they get drawn when they're hiveless. They're drawn to the nearest hive, even if it's really far away. So what if the core of this plant is a modified version of a hive base, very similar to what was at Yokohama? That would explain why they're able to produce food, because the beta were able to produce, like, beta out of, like, nothing. What if we're eating beta? Like, what if it's actually just, like, a beta growing laboratory that we just, like, neutralize the beta when they're, like, in their basic form, so we just kind of have their basic core processing meat that we then use to make food? Whoa. That would definitely be something you would be willing to kill everybody to prevent people from learning. Ooh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
だから帝国自らの手で取り戻す必要があると。
その通り。生産プラントの権益を独占維持するためには、独力で奪還したという実績が必要なのだ。いいか。我々の祖国はもはや何も持っていないのだ。何もない。世界を先進する技術もなければ領土もない。にもかかわらず、多くの国民を抱えている。我々がカジノのテーブルに乗せられるものは、わずかな軍事力と生産プラント絡みの技術だけだ。貴様たちの言い分も理解できる。だが、ハワイ政府はその少ないカードで勝負をし続けているのだ。
I mean, she's got a point. Like, if we don't have at least a couple cards, we're just gonna get forcibly annexed into the United States, and we're gonna have literally nothing.
シアトル西岸に住む難民たちを見よ。彼らには寄るべき組織がない。人種も国籍も宗教も違う。モラルも違えば習慣も違う。彼らの不満や不安は誰にも伝えることができない。狭い世界で他人を疑いながら生きるしかなくなっている。日本がそうなってはいけないのだ。だからこれは国民の安全と生命を守るための戦いなのだ。
Well, that got dark.
諸君らにはそれを理解してほしい。これも政治だ。
タイ、質問の許可を。協力を依頼した場合、アメリカ軍の出してきた条件とは？
アメリカ軍の協力に頼った場合、今後のプラント経営についてアメリカに対し大幅な譲歩を許さなければならなくなる。
So he's kind of laying out like, look, if we accept, these are the consequences.
食料配給計画委員会に参加する委員の人数構成比を変更しろと言ってきている。その場合、今後の生産プラントの経営に関してアメリカの大幅な介入を許すことになる。
Eventually, it wouldn't be ours anymore. Never let a crisis go to waste. I think vultures.
それと明朝0800までに制圧できなかった場合、戦闘の指揮権はアメリカに移譲されることになっている。
Okay, so some people in the United States have figured it out.
それって。
God, it seems oddly convenient that the Navy's gone, you know? Just,
よって我々は0800までに生産プラントを奪還しなければならない。今回の作戦の目的は2点になる。生産プラントの奪還と殿下の身柄確保だ。侵入者の束縛は主目的としては考えていない。
we're not effing around. You kill every one of them you find.
侵入者の束縛はあくまでも問題なく確保できる場合のみ実行するということになっている。
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like, it's one, like, sure, information is important, but, like, anybody who potentially risks everything to try and get a little bit of information, this stage is not, it's not gonna work.
いいか、生産プラントは日本国民の希望、かつ中には殿下もおられるのだ。プラントを傷つけることは許されない。
And damaging is not an option. Oh boy.
幸いにして侵入者側もデータなどを確保するまでプラントの破壊はできまい。だがいずれにせよ最悪の場合には生産プラントの破壊と将軍の死というものが待っているわけだ。
Yep.
この作戦に日本帝国の将来がかかっているのは事実だ。諸君らには命を賭してもらうことになる。各員の奮励努力を期待する。
Lovely. Oh my gosh, here we go. Already, huh? The encrypted line.
Yo! どうだよ、調子は。
Hey, Matsukaze, you big fat idiot.
お前な、見っかったら殺されんぞ。ただでさえさっきは喧嘩売ったような感じになってるんだし。
バカ、喧嘩じゃねえよ。何年あいつの副官やってたと思ってんだ。あいつ、根が暗いんだよ。だから俺が喧嘩売って盛り上げてやったの。
Sure.
本当かよ。信じらんねえ。追っ払われたんじゃねえのお前。
うっせえ。まあ半分くらいは本当だ。いずれにせよ、とんでもない作戦だぞ。くじ引いて外れたやつから死んでこいってことだしな。
I mean, he's not wrong.
まあな。しかし、ひでえ言い草だな。
ひでえ作戦だから仕方ない。みんなで突っ込めば誰かが到達するだろうって作戦だぞ。正気の沙汰じゃねえって。
Hey, maybe they just have, you know, maybe they just believe in us, you know? Believe in the you that believes in... If you can't believe in yourself, then believe in the them that believes in you because they at least believe you're worth killing over, so at least that's something, right?
なるほど。通常通り、実に俺たちらしい作戦だな。
くぅ、お前放浪してる間に頭がおかしくなったんじゃねえか。そういや、追加装甲は装備しないのか。
So they it's like a operational suit that you put on over your TSF armor in case you have to egress.
部下たちには装備させた。俺はいらねえ。機動で勝負する。
Yeah, I'm talking on my butt. Ain't in our ballpark. It ain't even close.
まあ、所詮装備したところで気休めにしかならないしな。俺もオミットしたわ。
I mean, yeah, in a melee fights maybe, but and that's more likely with the beta, but still.
総員系中、いくつかの情報を更新する。敵機の配置が判明した。情報を転送する。これによれば、海中に潜伏している A6 は一気になる。
Okay.
あとは空路で侵入するヘリ部隊は出撃準備は完了。陸路と海上から侵入する部隊の準備も10分以内に終わるとのことだ。
1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like they had one more.
作戦の最終確認をする。旧カー海峡に建設された生産プラントは四方を海に囲まれている。敵イントルーダーの河川集中による被害を最小限に抑えるため、部隊を4つに分け4方向からの侵入を試みる。なおこの作戦には前線にて睡眠待機中の第2大隊第1中隊以外の第1戦術機構連隊全機が参加することになる。
Right. We call it a regiment, but that's for naming purposes only. The first tactical armored regiment is made up of just 60 TSFs, about half the usual size. On top of that, we're missing one full squadron, and 6 TSFs are away for repairs. Hopefully, we'll get some reinforcements. Ooh, the music is bumping. Hopefully, we'll get some reinforcements from the 2nd Tactical Armored Regiment deployed at the border. Even a couple squadrons would make a huge difference. That ain't gonna happen. Considering Canada and France might be behind this, there's no way we'd give them an opening. Besides, half of the 2nd Tactical Armored Regiment is acting together with the Navy. Yeah, this ain't the kind of mission you can execute with 42 TSS and expect everyone to go back home.
タコマ基地から西に直線距離にしておよそ20キロ。ただしプラントの10キロ圏は遮蔽物のない洋上進行となる。
That's gonna be a rough 10 kilometers. From what the Captain Kamaki told us before, these guys are professionals. We should count on them having guided missiles on hand. Oh, what? I didn't click that. From, 4 Watasumi's 4 intruders, backed up by God knows how many guided missiles, with no way to use the terrain to our advantage. Mitsukaze's an idiot, but he's right. When he's right, he's right. This is practically a coin toss. Heads you live, tails you bite the dust.
次に生産プラントまでの洋上進行距離が短いのは北の島嶼地区となる。北側から侵入する場合は海上を約15キロ飛翔することになる。
God, a lot of space to fly.
島嶼地区は国連の管轄になっていて、難民たちの生活圏になっている。現在、一時的に駐屯地として利用するために国連と調整中だ。
Gotcha.
南も距離的にはほぼ同条件だ。だが知っての通り、南にはアメリカ陸軍フォートルイス基地があり、こちらは同基地内に我が軍を集結させる許可を得ている。
Right.
最後は西になるが、駐屯が許可されたシェルトンからだと、洋上を30キロ進行することになる。
God, it's a long way to fly. Do we even have the fuel for that? Shelton, that's a city in Washington State, about 50 kilometers west of Tacoma Base. If I had my geography right. That'd suck. Dogfights pretty much burned through all TSS propellant. We'd be running on empty before we even arrived at the plant. Maybe not if we dropped enough supply containers along the way, though.
タコマ基地から発進するのは第1大隊第1中隊と私、副官の高山中尉、ウォードック小隊の合計18機。
Oh, hang on, that's us. So we're coming from Tacoma.
フォートルイス基地を拠点にするのが第1大隊の第2中隊12機。北からの侵入は第2大隊第2中隊の第1、第2小隊の8機だ。
Alright.
そして西側からの進行は第2大隊第2中隊第3小隊、大神小隊だ。
You better make it through this, Ogami. You're like my favorite character so far.
了解。西側は敵も配備数を減らしているが、おそらく西側海中に潜伏していると考えられる。無理に仕掛ければ浮上してくる可能性もある。
Yeah, Kamaki's gonna have to keep her eye out. Like Ogami's gonna have to keep her eyes out, because like if they have a plan of escape or they have reinforcements coming in, they're gonna be coming in through the water.
よって西側は牽制のみで構わない。だが簡単な任務ではないぞ。絶対にその場に敵を釘付けにすること。イントルーダーによる交差砲撃など見たくないからな。了解。なお侵入を予定している3方向の戦術機部隊はルートに工程をつける。これはわだつみの的を散らすのには有効であると考えられている。
Erratic flights.
とにかく機体間距離を取り、攻撃を集中させないことが鍵になる。
And spread out. Swarm. Swarm formation's terrifying though, because you know if you get in trouble, you're not getting back up.
突入に際し、最も注意しなければならないのは速度だ。遅ければ撃たれる。早ければ激突だ。諸君、腕の見せ所だ。日頃鍛え抜いた腕前を襲撃者どもに披露してやれ。
了解。
では、作戦開始位置までの移動を開始しろ。作戦開始時刻は丸2丸々を予定している。諸君。任務成功と全員生還を願う。以上だ。
了解。
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
よう、今話せるか？
What's up with this?
こっちは待機中。大丈夫よ。どうなってるの？
国境付近の守備戦力を増強することが決定したらしい。 うちのハンガーはバタつき始めてるよ。
Interesting. So a lot of the Americans are being kept in the dark.
カナダ国境にフランス軍が出張ってきてるって噂がある。
Oh, of course.
でしょうね。海軍も艦船を動かすって話よ。そろそろ私に声がかかってもおかしくないくらい。
例のプラントだがな、相当に厳しいらしい。
Okay.
判明しているだけでイントルーダーが8機敵に抑えられている。
It's even better. This really is feeling a lot like French Canada because it's like coordinated. Like we have a crisis inside and then they move their troops in. It's like, it's a very, I mean, worst case scenario, you split the difference and you've got weakened forces on either side. You can't have a whole response from on either front. Best case scenario, one of them pulls resources from the other and thus gives you an easier victory.
陸戦兵力が潜入していると仮定するなら、それだけじゃ済まないわね。
だが、帝国から我々に対する出撃要請はない。たく、プライドが高すぎんだよ、連中は。
Hey, let it be known that a majority of the Americans, especially in the armed forces, do not care about the politics either. We're not all terrible in this series.
国としての体面を保とうとしてるんでしょ。わからない話ではないわ。国家が己の利権確保のために策謀することは当然のことでしょ。
Ah, Lilia.
ああ、そうだろうよ。そんなことは分かってるさ。だがな、このタイミングは最悪だ。ただでさえ議会から親日派と思われてる少佐だ。この状況ではウォーケン少佐からは援軍を出せない。不信
でしょうね。
俺たちの国の領土に建設された施設だ。俺たちが守備するのが当然じゃねえか。ラプターを出せば簡単に決着はつくはずなのに。
He's kinda right.
愚痴りたくなる気持ちはわかるわ。体面を保つために命を懸けるのは兵士の責務か。
馬鹿げてるよな。いずれにせよ、今の生産プラントはハリネズミの背中と同じだ。触ればトゲが刺さる。
At this point, I would doubt it was actually a monkey's paw.
ヒル注意。確認したい。戦闘に参加してはいけないのよね。
Oh, Lilia. I'm liking where this is going.
少佐からはそう聞いている。要請があるまで出撃はできないってね。
Mm-hmm.
なるほど。
どうしたシェルベリ注意。
了解。戦闘には参加しない。
I knew I liked her. I am excited to see how she skirts around the technicality of joining in combat. Oh, look at that. Here they come. God, the eerie quiet.
ヘッドクォーターよりセザントリード。作戦準備完了。すべての部隊が作戦開始位置に着いた。繰り返す。作戦準備完了。すべての部隊が作戦開始位置に着いた。
Alright. I hate this, but I really think I'm gonna stop here. Because, like, as much as, like, this has all just been build up, it's been exciting. And I don't want to jump the gun here. I want to be able to just enjoy myself and not be constantly wondering, like, when I'm going to take a break and have to stop halfway through. But I also don't want to make this a 4-hour episode unless I absolutely have to. Okay, we're going to stop. We're going to stop. Because the noose is tightening, and I imagine we're probably going to go through a majority of the operation tomorrow. And tomorrow, what am I talking about? Next week. So let's just really, we've got our feet planted, we brace ourselves, we'll get some tension build up, and next week we'll dive right into this operation. I don't even know what they call, what, we're a pheasant? What a terrible squad name to have. Oh well, anyway. I apologize. I have to wait too, I don't like that. But it's gonna be worth it. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Listen back to the creepy music, the intense music. It's like designed to make your hair stand on end, and it really works for me. But yeah, we're gonna have to see. We gotta go save Yui, which I'm sure is gonna be Maya, and we're gonna find her literally stabbing people with her sword because it's Maya. Like, what else would she be doing? I'm sure they're fine, they're probably holed up, either playing the role as like captives for the moment, looking for an opportunity, or they're just hiding on the plant, waiting for an opportunity to strike and prevent like worst case scenarios. So yeah, we're gonna have to see how that all plays out, but I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited too. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Looking forward to being able to finally make all the content this week again. Thank you to the patrons who helped make it possible for me to really dedicate myself to making content like this more often. I really appreciate it. I got a patron cast that I should have recorded this weekend, but I couldn't. Yeah, I really should do that. I'll see if I can do that ASAP. Thank you so much. Hope you guys are having a great time. Until next video, watching me out. See me next. I'll see you there.